shout out in the budget?
I was there. I watched
Okay.
you. I watched you right in there. So thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Swear that. I've never been to this room before. Oh, when you were on the school board. Wow. 21 years ago. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the May edition of our monthly media availabilities. Excuse me. My name is Charles Herndon. I'm the communications specialist for the Department of Communications and Community Outreach, and we are delighted that all of our friends in the media are with us. Thank you for being here with us today. May is a very busy and exciting month in Baltimore County Public Schools. There's a lot to talk about, and so without further ado, I'd like to welcome our Superintendent, Dr. Miriam Rogers.
Good morning. No, it's not morning. We're usually doing this in the morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. In a moment, I'll be able to provide you with some updates and information on our graduation season that's already started, fiscal year 2025 operating budget, OmniAlert weapons detection system, recruitment and staffing, and end of school year reminders for Team BCPS. First, I want to recognize some special guests that we have in attendance. Our county executive is here with us this morning. County Executive Ashevsky, thank you for being here. Our County Council Chairman, Izzy Patoka, thank you for being here. County Council Member, Pat Young, thank you for being here. Board Member, Jane Lichter, thank you for being here. And Union President for TABCO, Cindy Sexton. We really appreciate having all of you in attendance this morning. So it is officially graduation season. I'm excited to share that more than 7,000 students will graduate from BCPS this spring. The class of 2024 has a lot to be proud of. They have done remarkable work and overcome many obstacles. Many of our graduating seniors have won local, state, and national awards for their achievements. This includes Mingni Dong, a Delaney High School graduating senior who was named a 2024 U.S. Presidential Scholar, and Haley Beard, a Lansdowne High School senior who is the recipient of the 2024 Baltimore County Young Woman of the Year. You can learn more about the accomplishments of our students from the class of 2024 by viewing our graduating senior profile series on the BCPS website. I'm very proud of our students, and I will be in attendance personally at many of the ceremonies. I look forward to celebrating with our families and our students. I want to thank our high school administrators and staff who worked so hard for so many months to plan these commencement ceremonies. They honor our students and their families. I also want to thank our teachers, administrators, support staff that have worked with and supported our students over the course of their time as BCPS students to get them across the finish line. In more exciting news, this morning, the Baltimore County Council voted to approve a fiscal year 2025 operating budget for BCPS. The approved $2.6 billion budget provides $41 million above state-required maintenance of effort. Please join me in saying thank you, thank you, thank you to our partners for this historic investment in education. We are truly grateful for your partnership and want you to know that every dollar invested in Baltimore County Public Schools is a direct investment in the future of Baltimore County. This funding will help us to prioritize resources in the areas of greatest need and fast-track our critical work to build a high-performing school system. We take very seriously our commitment to ensuring that every dollar will be spent wisely to deliver the best possible education to more than 111,000 students. Earlier this week, we shared information with the Team BCPS community regarding the OmniAlert firearm detection system and our interagency efforts to ensure the safety of our students and members of our community. Thank you, County Executive Ashevsky and Chief Robert McCullough, for your partnership in this effort. In August 2023, if you will recall, we announced that we would leverage the OmniAlert firearm detection system in all schools as a part of our comprehensive plan to enhance school safety. We're pleased to share that the system is now operating in and around all of our school buildings, and it has been tested and verified. Select BCPS staff and Baltimore County Police Department personnel, including school resource officers, are designated to receive alerts when a firearm is present. We're grateful that we have this additional tool to use in our efforts to deter and detect weapons on school property. We do want to remind our students, families, and community members who access school grounds before and after school that the system is fully implemented across all of our schools and will alert personnel if there is a weapon or a look-alike weapon on property. So to avoid unintended consequences or a waste of resources, firearms, including look-alike firearms, should not be brought onto any school property at any time. Significant county resources are deployed each time an alert is received, and we want to ensure that our police officers are free to respond to real emergencies and real incidents. At this time, I would invite our county executive forward to speak on OmniAlert.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Good afternoon, all. All right. It is wonderful to be with all of you. I first want to commend you, Dr. Rogers, for continuing with these press availabilities. I was pleased to join you along with others when you started offering these opportunities, and I'm just really thrilled that you have continued that engagement, not just with the media community, but also with our communities. And your town halls around the budget, I think, is another reflection of the ways in which you continue to lead. And so I just want to lift you up and thank you for your partnership, not just with me, but also with all of our partners, including our members of the council and your our school board. I just want to touch on a few things today. First, want to congratulate all of the graduating seniors out there on a long educational career being capped off in the weeks ahead. Excited for all of you and your families. I hope you get to soak it in. I look forward to seeing some of you at graduations along with my colleagues. I want to also thank Chairman Patoka, Councilman Young, and members of the council for their generous support of the budget that we worked with Superintendent and the school board to craft and submit. We are thrilled that this is a budget that, as the superintendent mentioned, is a $41 million increase over the state mandated maintenance of effort. It's a budget that, in partnership with our folks in labor, we're now moving forward with a $60,000 a year starting salary, years ahead of what's required under the blueprint for Maryland's future. It funds the first year of a multi-year deal, not just with TABCO, but with all of our bargaining units here in Baltimore County. So we're excited about what this budget means for families across Baltimore County, including the Olszewski household with my soon-to-be third grader. But I want to thank Ms. Young for her great work with Daria this year as well. It's been a great school year here in Baltimore County. Also want to just thank both Chief McCullough and the superintendent for their partnership on the OmniAlert system so that we can detect any issues surrounding firearms through these internal and external cameras, along with the superintendent, the school board, the council, our partners. We do prioritize student safety. It's why this is a budget that continues to fund school safety assistance. It's why we continue to fund our school resource officers. We believe in having those supports throughout our school system, in addition to things like counselors and pupil personnel workers and social workers, all the investments we've made over the years that have been collectively over $200 million over the past 6 years above maintenance of effort here in Baltimore County, on top of hundreds of millions of dollars, over $800 million on the capital side into our school buildings. It's created more than 3,000 new seats. We've opened 7 new schools with 2 more coming in the year ahead. We're currently in year 3 of our multi-year improvement plan for all schools. That is done because of the partnership. It's done because of the investments, and I think we're seeing the results in the work that we're doing. So look forward to continuing to partner with the superintendent and all others to continue delivering that safe, world-class education for all our students and all our families, and just appreciate the opportunity to join you today. Thank you, Madam Superintendent.
Back for my height. Our hiring season is underway. As a school system, we're very excited about the trends that we're seeing. We're working diligently to ensure that we have highly qualified staff members in all of our classes and offices ahead of the 2024-25 school year. We want every single student in our school system to have a Miss Young that they're very proud of and their family can call by name. We recently held 2 job fairs, and we will have additional recruitment opportunities throughout the summer and the remainder of the spring. We currently have fewer than 300 vacancies to hire for, and the number is going down with each day. We're pleased to share that 81 of our schools have fewer than 2 positions or 2 vacancies to hire for, and only 2 schools have vacancies in the double digits, and those 2 schools are secondary schools. More than 99% of our priority teacher transfers have been placed for the upcoming school year. I also want to note that we've had a 22% reduction in teacher retirements. Compared with previous years, we are significantly ahead of where we typically are at this point of the year. Our human resources recruitment and staffing team has been working around the clock to ensure that we are fully staffed by the start of the next school year. With less than 4 weeks left in the school year, I want to again reiterate important safety reminders for our students and families to make certain that we work together to finish the year strong. Fighting and other disruptive behaviors, as we have said before, will not be tolerated at our schools. Students need to keep their cell phones off and away during the school day. They can be a distraction and have a negative impact on their well-being and learning. School administrators will continue to respond swiftly when students engage in disruptive or dangerous behaviors on school property. We will continue to use legally available tools and resources to protect students and hold accountable those who break the rules. Our handbook includes an overview of the rights and responsibilities of our students and a summary of the laws and regulations that impact our students. Parents and caregivers, we implore you, an example that you set truly matters. The behaviors that we all model at home and in the community and the values that we instill in our children have tremendous impact on the schoolhouse. We call on all of you to limit and monitor student social media and cell phone use, monitor friend groups and possessions. I also want to remind parents to leverage the parent portal to stay on top of your students' grades, their performance, any missing assignments, and two-way communication with the schools. Truly want to thank you for all of your support. This time I invite Mr. Herndon back up.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. We are under a little bit of a time constraint today, so I would also encourage our friends in the media today, if we could hold our questions to about 2 or 3 questions, that would be helpful. So thank you. We'll start. Chris?
Dr. Rogers, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You had mentioned that hiring season is underway, and I have a question about the hiring of Dazon Darian, the former athletic director at Pikesville High School. It does appear that he did not meet the minimum requirements to be an athletic director at Pikesville. His resume, his BCPS-issued resume, said he had a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate degree. We called those institutions. He did not have any of them. He also did not have a teaching certificate in the state of Maryland. Can you explain to taxpayers how Mr. Darian was hired for this position, and does BCPS check resumes for accuracy?
Thank you for your question. Yes, while I will not speak about an individual, I will talk about our hiring process. Happy to do that. Part of our hiring process includes some very specific steps. One of the steps is a reference check, a check for credentials, obviously the FBI check nationally as well as state, fingerprinting, House Bill 486. Those steps are a regular part of our process as a school system to hire individuals. Those steps were followed with this individual, but that doesn't mean that even if any individual passes through successfully all of these steps, that there can't be misinformation that is included. What I can say to you is one of the first things that I shared probably before July 1st were our 4 priorities for the school system. And one of those priorities was infrastructure. And the reason for infrastructure was to look at our specific processes and to ensure that the data that we had and that the data that we used was high quality, and that we were able to examine all of our processes, both technical and adaptive, to make sure that processes that perhaps we used in the past that made sense as technology and other things continue to evolve, that we examined our processes and that we made the necessary changes. I'm very grateful to the Board of Education for approving a new ERP process that significantly will overhaul how we do business as a school system. It makes sure that we have high quality data integrity in every single thing that we do, not only with members within Team BCPS, but anyone trying to come to Team BCPS. And so I think this is a reminder for us when someone or anyone can go, all agencies, through the process, and you see that there are still some loopholes, that we go back, we examine all of our processes. As technology is advancing, we make sure as a school system and other agencies that we're continuing to advance so there aren't those opportunities for gaps. And so I thank you for the question and wanted to share that in terms of our process.
Thank you. Just as a quick follow-up, Mr. Darian went to Paint Branch High School. You were a principal at Paint Branch High School for 9 years.
No.
Did you?
7 years.
7 years.
Yes.
Did you know Mr. Darian prior to him being hired at BCPS? Did you know any of his family members?
No. He's much older. Or maybe I'm much older, but no.
Okay. First, I'd like to know how many guns or gun incidents did you have at schools this year?
I don't have the exact number. It's under double digits. We can get that to you. We've reported that
Okay.
a few months ago.
If a gun is in a backpack, is this system going to detect that?
It's not going to detect it in the backpack. The system is going to detect it as soon as it's out of the backpack. The system uses AI. It's overlaid on our existing cameras, and there are certain characteristics. So whether it is a traditional firearm or it's a makeshift firearm, there are certain specific characteristics that it will detect, and it'll send the alert out.
So this is really just to see if there's a gun in the area, in the school. It will detect it. If it's a gun being waved around or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask you about the adequate public facilities ordinance. I don't know if somebody's already asked. Sorry, I came in a little late here.
They have not.
Just wanted to know your opinion. I know it's supposed to, or was said that it might relieve overcrowding in schools, but they delayed the vote today, I believe. So just wanted to ask your opinion on that. The end.
No, thank you for the question. What I will share with you is we spoke about it during a May board meeting in detail, and we are working directly with our county council partners because we all are in support of reducing overcrowding in our schools, and we want to come up with processes to do that makes sense. And so I am grateful to Councilman Chair Patoka, as well as all members of the council and our county executive for our strong partnership, and we're going to continue to work together. Thank you.
Going back to Dejan Darian, were you at all involved in his selection or hiring at either Randallstown or Pikesville high schools?
No.
One more question. How can parents of BCPS students feel assured that no one else like this who does not meet minimum qualifications didn't slip through the cracks and are employed at BCPS schools?
So I think parents can be assured that the Department of Human Resources does its due diligence. I think they should also be reassured that as a school system, we are investing in the tools necessary to make sure that as technologies are evolving and as people are becoming more sophisticated in terms of ways that they try to gain access to different agencies, that we are closing those loopholes and we're working together across agencies to cross-check and minimize the occurrences that if someone does make a poor choice, for us to catch them as soon as possible. I would be remiss if I did not thank our partners that helped in this investigation. So while this is truly an unfortunate situation, I do believe strongly that because we worked with county government, because we worked with the police department, with the FBI, a thorough investigation was done, not to rush to judgment, and to stop this behavior from continuing in our school system or any other school system.
Recently, there's been a school system that decided to, I can't remember what state it's in, decided to just take cell phones from students at the start of the day and give them back at the end of the day. And they were saying it's made all the difference. Would you entertain doing something like that?
I don't know if I would entertain doing something like that. I will tell you what we are doing. What we are doing is to, we're out there getting the voice of our stakeholders. So we work on a regular basis to try to represent our teachers, try to do what's in the best interest of our students, but we really don't have many opportunities to hear from everyone directly. We have a regular process where principals by level give feedback at the end of the year directly about how things are impacting them. We just on Monday deployed a cell phone survey to all of the teachers across our entire district, all 9,000 of them, to hear from them about how are cell phones really coming into the classroom, what's the impact of that, and what they would support for this upcoming year. We're going to use that, the administrator feedback, and the third piece is we are having stakeholder focus groups, parents, teachers, as well as students. We're going to take all three of those pieces of data, and that's how we're going to move forward in terms of what is the best course of action for Team BCPS 24-25 school year. We have heard from some, we haven't heard from all, so we want robust data so we can be informed in terms of the decision that we make.
I think we're good. Dr. Rogers, thank you. To our special guests, thank you very
Thank you.
much. And thank you again to our media for being here. Everybody have a great afternoon. Travel safely. Thank you.
Can you differentiate between the two?
I think we can differentiate between the two, and we're talking about just guns as opposed to
No, just guns, because this